Welcome back inside our SI.com studios for another video mailbag, where you can hit us up on email or on Twitter using the hashtag Mannix Mailbag. Question number one, what chance do you give the Bulls of winning the championship if all the injured players come back? Well, certainly if Derrick Rose comes back healthy, and if he's somewhere in the neighborhood of 75% of the old Derrick Rose, Chicago has enough experience to make a pretty deep run. But I'm skeptical that with so little time left in the season, that Rose, Jimmy Butler, and the rest of this team can develop enough chemistry and be healthy enough to knock off Atlanta and Cleveland, which are by far and away the two best teams in the conference right now. I think Chicago looms as a dark horse in the East, but it's going to take a lot for them to get past one of those top two contenders. Question number two, why does Ernie Grunfeld still have a job? Latest gaffe, trading Jordan Clarkson to the Lakers for cash. Look, I'm not going to indict Ernie Grunfeld for trading Jordan Clarkson, a second-round pick, to the Lakers, especially when I understand the reasoning of trying to keep a roster spot open to sign a veteran for that team. And I think Grunfeld, by and large, has done a pretty good job with this group. He's drafted Bradley Beal, he's drafted John Wall. It's been kind of a painstaking process, and there have been some missteps along the way, but this group looked in the first 2 months of the season like a real contender in the Eastern Conference. I don't know what's happened with this team in the last 2 months. The defense has failed them, the turnover numbers are comical, and they just don't look like the same group that was storming through the Eastern Conference in the first 2 months of the season. And it's not all on the injury to Bradley Beal, but they have to get it together quickly. They have enough talent and they have enough experience to make a deep run in the playoffs, but they're going to have to figure out how to play better together in order to get there. And Grunfeld, I don't think he's the guy that's going to be on the chopping block right away. The guy you'd be looking at early is going to be Randy Whitman, who needs to make a run at least to the second round, in my opinion, to keep his job in Washington. Question number three, what is the future between Marcus Smart, Avery Bradley, and Isaiah Thomas in Boston? Can they mesh together, or will it be a logjam? Look, for right now, it's working out famously for the Celtics. Thomas has been just what the doctor ordered for this team, and he's made them a playoff contender after the trades of Rajon Rondo and Jeff Green and the injury to Jared Sullinger. So I think they like keeping him where he is for now. But I don't think anyone on the Celtics is safe outside of Marcus Smart. Danny Ainge, the GM, has always been a big game hunter. He's looking to make a franchise-changing move. And Isaiah Thomas, because of what he can do and what type of manageable contract he has, and the same goes for Avery Bradley, I think are both very movable pieces. So for right now, those three guys are helping Boston get into the playoffs, but it wouldn't surprise me if any of them, outside of Smart, could be dealt at any point in the next year. Question number four, would the Spurs rather stay at a 6-7 seed or go to the 5th seed and a possible Golden State-Oklahoma City second-round matchup? Look, at this point, San Antonio doesn't care what seed they wind up in. What they want to be is healthy at the end of the season and have Tony Parker playing well. Those things haven't really matched up all season long, which has made it kind of an inconsistent year for San Antonio, but they still have a month to get themselves right. And believe me, as long as Parker is healthy and playing well, if Kawhi Leonard is the same, this team is still very capable of going on the road anywhere and winning a series. Remember, they've been to back-to-back finals, they're the defending champs, they've got more experience than most teams in the playoffs combined, so I don't put anything past San Antonio going into this postseason, regardless of who they play in the first couple of rounds. Question number five, what does Russell Westbrook have to do to win MVP? Putting up historic numbers nightly, media still says he won't win. Why? Look, I'm a voter, and I love Russell Westbrook. But the two things Westbrook can do is go back in time, get the month of November back, where he missed almost all of it because of the injury, and number two, make his team one of the top teams in the Western Conference. Since the late 1980s, every player that has won MVP has come from a team that's finished first or second in their respective conferences. Westbrook right now is in a dogfight with Oklahoma City for the final playoff spots. Now, that's not his fault, and you could certainly make the argument that Oklahoma City is in as deep a conference as we've seen in decades, maybe ever, but I think that's going to work against him when the voters cast their ballots. Love what Westbrook is doing over the last month. Think right now he's the best player in basketball, but the MVP is not based on 1 month. It's based on an entire season. That's why I think James Harden and Steph Curry are going to be duking it out for this award at the end. That's it for this week's SI Video Mailbag. Remember, you can ask your questions on Twitter using the hashtag Mannix Mailbag.